Geo Brax, doing the geography and also the Brax, yeah.
There he is, baby!
Back here! Back here!
Best in the business!
Over here!
Oh yeah, it's Geo Brax!
I was on a waiting list for years for this.
Welcome back to the Global Cities Tournament 2024! I am your host, Geo Brax. Welcome to episode 11, the final episode of the first round. You have already met the first 118 cities. It is time to meet the final 16 cities in this tournament. And by the end of the episode, we will be down to the final 64, moving on to the second round.
Quadrant 4, Section 3 begins with one of two Russian cities in this tournament, the number 14 ranked but number 12 overall seed Moscow, who in GC 2020 made it all the way to the third round, defeating Colombo and Ho Chi Minh City before falling to Shanghai. This is the first time that Moscow will not be facing a city from Asia. In fact, Moscow will be facing another city with more than 12 million in population. That is going to be Rio de Janeiro, the fourth and final Brazilian city to make an appearance in this tournament. Rio de Janeiro lost in the first round in GC 2020 to Montreal in 5 categories. There are 2 cities in this section with more than 20 million people, and this is the first one. Number 66, Cairo, the capital and sole representative from Egypt, made it to the second round of GC 2020 after defeating Tehran. In the second round, Cairo lost to Berlin. Cairo will be facing off against the 7th highest ranked city from China. That is going to be number 36 overall, Hangzhou from Zhejiang province. In GC 2020, Hangzhou made it to the third round, defeating Washington and Kuala Lumpur before falling to Istanbul in a panel discussion. In a section full of giants, we find ourselves a miniature. Number 29 overall, Boston from the American state of Massachusetts is the only city in this section with fewer than 1 million residents. Boston were not given a seed based on their poor performance in the previous tournament where they lost in 5 categories to Recife. Back to the mega cities we go. We have number 171, Lahore from the state of Punjab in Pakistan, the second of 2 Pakistani cities in this tournament. In GC 2020, Lahore defeated Dammam in the opening round before falling to Chicago in the first round. We now have the second of 2 Scottish cities making their debuts in this tournament. That is number 177, Glasgow. Glasgow will have to pull the upset against the number 18 overall, 20th seeded Mumbai from the state of Maharashtra in India. This is the 6th and final city from India to debut in this year's tournament. Mumbai has the largest population of any city in this section, and in GC 2020 defeated Algiers before losing to London in the second round.
Moscow versus Rio de Janeiro. 13. 8. 3. 17. 5. We kick things off with what may be the most anticipated first round matchup of them all. 2 cities of over 12 million people. The number 12 overall seed, Moscow, the second of 2 Russian cities in the tournament, against Rio de Janeiro from the state of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, the 4th of 4 Brazilian cities. First category is drawn by, not rigged, was total Michelin stars. And there are 7 of them. And they're all to be found in Rio de Janeiro, a 1-0 lead. Second category is the combined heights of the 3 tallest buildings in the city. We have the Rio Sul Center, the Ventura Corporate Tower, and Lelio Gama 105. against Federation Tower, the OKO Tower, and Neva Towers number 2.
Number 2.
Kind of built it up for a blowout, though, to be honest. It's 460 in Rio de Janeiro against 1,109 meters in Moscow. 1-to-1 category. The third, pollution index. Which city is less dirty? In Moscow, 54.9. Bit high for a European city in Rio de Janeiro, 67.4, a 2-1 lead for the number 12 seed. We move on to the quality of living ranking, where Moscow is not ranked. So, the extra category was which city's average high monthly temperature is closest to 23 degrees Celsius, and in Moscow it is probably the lowest of any city in this tournament. 9.42. Rio de Janeiro is actually warmer than I would have thought. 28.25 degrees, which means Category 5, incoming subjectivity, best stadium. We have the city that hosted the 2018 FIFA World Cup final versus the city that hosted the 2014 FIFA World Cup final. So we know the Luzhniki Stadium versus the Maracanã is going to be very, very subjective. Both amazing stadiums. But when you look at the history of the sport, and of course, the blue, yellow, and green color motif, and the fact that it's right off of a metro line, we're going to give the edge to the even more storied Maracanã, which means Rio de Janeiro, welcome to the second round. Cairo versus Hangzhou. 10. 3. 11. 17. 5. Extra. 16. 'In this matchup, we feature the second highest ranked city on the African continent, and the city that was the highest ranked city not to be put in the top half. That is number 66 overall, Cairo, the sole representative and capital of Egypt, taking on, from the province of Zhejiang, Hangzhou, China. First category is, which city has the busiest airport? Cairo International Airport got 20 million passengers in 2022. But Hangzhou Xiaoshan International received 28.2 million in 2021. 1-0 lead to Hangzhou. Next up, pollution index. Hangzhou, a lot higher than you would expect from an Asian city, 67.3. And Cairo is that the worst number in the world? 90.9? Yeah, 2-0 to Hangzhou. Most visited museum. That should probably be the Museum of Egyptian Antiquities, except that's 900,000 a year. How? Isn't that one of the most famous ones in the world? Hangzhou, the Zhejiang Museum of Natural History, that no one's ever heard of, 1.58 million. Yeah, the Chinese museums get a lot of traffic, so that's a 3-0 sweep for Hangzhou. Boston versus Lahore. 16. 10. 3. 3. Extra. 12. 'Up now, we have one of two cities ranked in the top 32 that did not receive a seed. That is number 29 overall, Boston from the United States, the state of Massachusetts, taking on Lahore from Pakistan, the second of two Pakistani cities, and the sole representative from the state of Punjab. The first category from Not Rigged was public transit rating. And it looks as though public transit rating is 34th out of 65 for Boston. Lahore unranked in the Oliver Wyman Forum. So we moved on to the daily ridership of the metro. And Lahore is only 54,800 daily riders across 27 kilometers. In a much smaller city, Boston, the MBTA subway has 385,000 daily riders. Covers 111 kilometers. So Boston, yeah, up 1-0. Second category is rent cost versus purchasing power. They're both higher in Boston. Purchasing power, 322% higher. Rent cost is 2,145% higher. Okay, we're tied at 1. Category 3, busiest airport. Yeah. Logan International against the Allama Iqbal International Airport. One is 36.1 million passengers. One is 4.7 million passengers. Yeah, Boston's up 2-1. Category 4, we have the number of rainy days per year closest to the target score of 120 days. In Lahore, it's 64. And in Boston, 134. Only 14 off. That's the third category. A 3-1 victory for Boston. And you're going, for the first time, to the second round. Glasgow versus Mumbai. 3. 5. 17. 15. 1. Extra. 12. In the final matchup of the first round in Quadrant 4, Section 3, we have the second representative from Scotland, also making his debut, number 177, Glasgow, and they're taking on the highest ranked city from India, from the state of Maharashtra, the number 20 overall seed, Mumbai, the fourth city in this section. Ranked in the top 36. That is by far the strongest of any section. Anyhow, first category from Not Ripped was number of rainy days per year closest to the target score of 120. Mumbai, a bit drier than ideal, 74 days. And in Glasgow, 223 days of rain per year. Wow, that is a lot. Okay, second category. Mumbai at 1-0. Second category. Whose busiest airport is closest to the city center? Mumbai's airport, BOM, 24.6 kilometers away. And Glasgow's airport, GLA, 14.0 kilometers away. We're tied at 1. Next up, we have the quality of living ranking. In 164th position, we have Mumbai. And in 50 54th position, we have Glasgow. So I guess the rain doesn't affect quality of living too badly. Fourth category, can both Scottish cities advance to the second round in their debuts? Carbon emissions per capita. This is pretty low for a European city. 4.3 tons of carbon dioxide per person. And Mumbai, 1.5 tons of carbon dioxide per person. And we are tied at this many, which means category 5, subjectivity time. What are we going to have? Best slogan and city nickname combination. Alright, well, let's get into it. The slogan for Glasgow: let Glasgow flourish.
Flourish, you say?
The slogan for Mumbai: where there is Dharma, there shall be victory.
Dharma, you say?
It's a bit deeper. Where there's justice, there shall be recompense. Well, let's go to the nickname. See if Mumbai keeps the advantage. The nickname for Glasgow: the Deer Green Place. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. In Mumbai, Maximum City and the Big Coconut. Ooh. Maximum City's a cool name. It's cooler than the Deer Green Place. And where there's Dharma, there shall be victory is better than whatever it was that Glasgow put up. I mean, Mumbai, you dominated that category, and you go to the second round.
The number 34 overall city is up next. Sydney, New South Wales is the fourth and final Australian city to begin participation in GCT 24. Sydney were given the number 31 overall seed based on a strong performance in the previous tournament, where Sydney reached the round of 16 by defeating Ankara, Wuhan, and Budapest before losing to London. Sydney will be facing off with a debutante, that is number 168 Marseille, the third and final city from France to participate in this year's tournament. Can Marseille pull off the upset? Unlike the previous section, Quadrant 4, Section 4 has 3 cities with populations under 1 million. Number 97, Geneva, is the first one of those 3. Geneva is the second Swiss city in this tournament. In GC 2020, Geneva defeated Porto Alegre before losing to Dubai in 5 categories. Its opponent will be the capital and sole representative from the country of the Philippines. That is number 43 overall, Manila, the second largest city in this section. In GC 2020, Manila had a bad draw and lost to London in the first round, so they will be looking to improve upon that performance. Number 45, Miami, Florida, is the 10th highest ranked U.S. city and is the smallest city in this section. In GC 2020, Miami fell in 5 categories to Kuwait City, so it is still looking for its first ever trip to the second round. Standing in Miami's way will be the debutantes, number 109, Fukuoka, the fourth and final Japanese city to make an appearance in GCT 24. Will Fukuoka win its first ever matchup? Making it back-to-back debutantes, we have the third city with fewer than 1 million people. That is number 124, Stuttgart, the sixth and final German city to debut in this tournament. Stuttgart is from the state of Baden-Württemberg. And last but absolutely not least, we have the 134th and final city to begin in GCT 24. That is the defending semifinalist, the number 5 overall seed, Beijing from China. Beijing has the largest population of any city in this section. In GC 2020, Beijing defeated Casablanca, Warsaw, Dublin in a panel discussion, Chengdu in a sweep, and then Paris before losing to eventual champion Seoul in the semifinal.
Sydney versus Marseille. 4. 4. Extra. 9. To begin the first round in the final of the 16 sections. Quadrant 4, Section 4, we have a city that made it to the round of 16 in GC 2020, the number 31 overall seed from New South Wales and Australia, the 4th Aussie city, Sydney, taking on the debutantes from the south of France, the 3rd of 3 French cities, Marseille. My dear friend, not Rich, drew the first category as rent costs versus purchasing power in Sydney. The rent is 140% higher, and the purchasing power is 28% higher. So, Marseille, up 1-0. Second category is, which city has more species of birds? So we didn't have data for Marseille as a city. In Sydney, there are 367. So then we had to go to the département where Marseille is located. 486. New South Wales is 482. It's 4 species apart, and it's not city specific, so we're going to call it a draw. Third category is Happy City Index. 14th for Sydney. 111th for Marseille. We're tied at 1. Fourth category is which city has a higher density? Yeah, it's not going to be in Australia. 433 people per square kilometer. Marseille, not super dense either, but 3,600 is good enough for 2-1 lead on the precipice of the upset. Highest ranked university was the extra category in the Ice Marseille Université. 178th on the U.S. News Report against the University of Sydney. 28th! Uh-oh. We're tied at 2. Going to a 6th category. And it's subjectivity time. We've got the best nature as the deciding category. In New South Wales, we have Sydney Harbour, Bondi Beach, Coogee Beach, and Centennial Park. We're taking on Marseille, Parc National des Calanques, the Plage du Prado, and the Plage de la Pointe Rouge. Well, as you heard, there were 2 beaches named on both accounts. A park on both sides, one a national park, one just a city park. But if we take a look at the 2 beaches, Marseille got rough rocks, not beautiful sands. Bondi Beach, amazing sand. And if you've seen Sydney Harbour, wow. One of the most stunning natural locations that any city could hope to have. So Sydney's getting the nod. 3 categories to 2, the second round. Geneva versus Manila. 16. 12. 1. 14. 1. Extra. 4. We have the second of the 2 Swiss cities in this tournament, Geneva, taking on the sole representative from the Philippines. That will be Manila. The first category is given by Not Ricked was Public Transit Rating. Geneva unranked on the Oliver Wyman Forum. Manila 60th out of 65, so we got to go to daily ridership. The MRTS in Manila has 357,000 riders only. 17 kilometers, it's just one line of track. And the TPG in Geneva has 600,000 daily riders in a much smaller area 44 kilometers. We're going to give that to Geneva, 1-0 lead. Second category is most tourists per year. And these are foreign tourists. Estimation for Geneva is around 550,000. In Manila, it is 3.5 million. That is almost 7 times as many. It's a 1-to-1 draw. Third category is crime index, 64.7 in Manila, 30.6 in Geneva, a 2-to-1 lead for the Swiss city. Fourth category is the Happy City Index, where Manila is unranked. So we go to the World Happiness Report, where Geneva is unranked. So we're going to the extra category. Highest density, 13,000 people per square kilometer for Geneva. So we are going to the fifth category, Metro Manila, 21,764 people per square kilometer. Yeah, we're getting subjective again and again. It is best slogan and city nickname combination. In Manila, the slogans are Manila, God first, and you are welcome in Manila. In Geneva, the slogan is Post tenebras luz, which in Latin means after the darkness, the light. And the nickname for Geneva is Peace Capital. Whereas in Manila, it's Pearl of the Orient. There are lots of Pearls of the Orient. Also, Queen City of the Pacific. I'm more partial to that one, but Queen City of the Pacific or the Peace Capital. Plus, the slogan was way cooler from Geneva as well. So, Geneva, to the second round. Miami versus Fukuoka. 15. 11. 1. 12. 3. Extra. 10. 'In the penultimate matchup of the first round, we have the 10th highest ranked of the 12 American cities. That is Miami, Florida, taking on the 4th of 4 Japanese cities in this tournament, the debutantes, Fukuoka. The first category is carbon emissions per capita. It is 16.0 tons of carbon emissions per capita in Miami, 21st in total in the world. Yeah, and it's 5.5 tons of carbon dioxide or less in Fukuoka, so an easy 1-0 lead for the Japanese city. Second category is most visited museum in Fukuoka. That is the Fukuoka City Museum with around 600,000 visitors per year. In Miami, it is the Frost Museum of Science with about 700,000 visitors per year. They sneak the second category. We got a 1-2-1 draw. The third category is given by Not Ricked. It was crime index. Yeah, we know where this is going. Miami, literally, the city where GTA 6 is going to be based. Crime index of 52.6. In Fukuoka, perhaps the lowest number we've seen, 17.2. Fukuoka on the verge of the second round in its first appearance. The fourth category is number of foreign tourists per year. And surprisingly high for Fukuoka, 1.2 million. And in Miami, yeah, we know where a lot of people in this part of the world like to go. 3.3 million tourists a year to Miami. So we're going for the fourth straight matchup to the fifth category, getting subjected yet again. Best landmarks. And this was a bad category for both of them. Gonna be honest, didn't bring me too much joy to have to decide a winner from this. But in Miami, South Beach is, I guess, a landmark. The second landmark was a basketball arena, the Kaseya Center, and then Freedom Tower. I mean, offering us nothing here. Fukuoka at least had the Hakozaki Shrine and the Fukuoka Castle. And again, another stadium, the PayPay Dome. But yeah, the Hakozaki Shrine, that's better than any landmark Miami had. So Fukuoka to the second round. Stuttgart versus Beijing. 1. Ten. 1. 17. 2. Extra. 8. 'The final two cities to make their first appearance in Global City 2024 are the following. The number 5 overall seed, a city that made the semifinals in GC 2020. We have the capital of China. It's number 2 overall ranked city, Beijing, taking on the 6th and final German city, the debutantes from Baden-Württemberg, the city of Stuttgart. First category. The final first round matchup is Crime Index, an impressive showing from Stuttgart, 34.8, and an impressive showing from Beijing, 27.0. 1-0 lead to Beijing. The second category is busiest airport in Stuttgart. It is STR, Stuttgart Airport, 8.5 million, and you're going up against the Beijing Capital Airport with 49 million passengers per year. You can probably live for a couple of weeks, no problem in there. 2-0 to Beijing. After 4 straight to the 5th category, do we have a fast matchup? Which city's average high monthly temperature is closest to the target of 23 degrees Celsius? In Beijing, a bit lower than you'd think. 18.17 in Stuttgart, also a bit lower than what you think. 15.33, that's farther away. And Beijing closes out the first round with the sweep. Thank you guys for being here for episode 11. We have gone from 72 cities down to the final 64. The second round will be split into the next 4 episodes. So, according to math, that's 12 through 15. If you want to keep up with the bracket, go to challenge.com/GCT24, linked below. And if you want to see all the research that we've done on these episodes, take a look at our Discord. In fact, you can join if you want. You can subscribe to the channel if you want. You can join me, GeoBrax, for the second round, starting with the next episode. Love to see you back.